Welcome back, everyone, to the Echoes of Ihsan Podcast. Today, we're going to be driving deep into the world of supplications.
Yeah.
As discussed in Sunan al Tirmidhi, Volume 6.
Yeah.
We've got this really incredible collection of chapters and verses exploring various supplications, their context, and really just their profound impact.
It's truly fascinating how this volume goes beyond just, listing supplications.
Right.
We get these glimpses into the lives of the prophet and his companions,
Wow.
understanding how they incorporated dua into their daily lives.
Right. It's not just a theoretical concept. It's woven into the very fabric of their existence.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that struck me was this idea of Allah actually boasting about those who remember him to the angels.
Right.
What an incredible concept.
It is truly humbling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hadith 379 paints this really vivid scene
Okay.
where the prophet encounters his companions engaged in dhikr,
Yeah.
remembering Allah.
Uh-huh.
And when they explain that they're praising him for guiding them to Islam,
Right.
the prophet reveals that Allah himself was boasting about them to the angels.
It just makes you realize the profound significance of remembrance, of just taking those moments to connect with the divine.
Yeah.
It's not just about asking for things. It's about nurturing that relationship, making Allah proud.
Absolutely. And this emphasis on remembrance ties into another crucial point that's highlighted in the text.
Okay.
Allah hears us.
Yeah.
Even when we whisper a supplication, he's aware.
There's that Hadith 3461.
Yes.
Where the companions are returning from an expedition loudly proclaiming the takbir.
Uh-huh.
And the prophet gently reminds them that Allah isn't deaf or absent.
Yeah.
He's right there with them, hearing even their quietest whispers.
Right.
Such a comforting thought. You're never truly alone with your worries or hopes.
It's a beautiful reminder that supplication is a direct line to the divine,
Yeah.
a channel of communication that's always open.
Hmm.
And this awareness of Allah's constant presence should inspire us to make dua a regular part of our lives, not just something we resort to in times of need.
And speaking of making it a regular practice,
Yeah.
Sunan al Tirmidhi offers this incredible array of supplications for various aspects of daily life.
Right.
Waking up, sleeping, wearing clothes, seeing the first fruits of the season. It's remarkable how the prophet encouraged seeking Allah's blessings in every little detail.
It's like infusing even the most mundane activities with spirituality.
Yeah.
Recognizing that Allah is present in every aspect of our existence.
Right.
This reminds me of Hadith 3441,
Right.
where the prophet, upon seeing the walls of Medina, speeds up his camel and makes a heartfelt supplication for the city.
It paints such a vivid picture. You can almost feel his love for Medina and his eagerness to seek Allah's blessings for it.
It's not just a routine supplication.
Yeah.
It's filled with genuine emotion, a deep connection to his surroundings. And it teaches us to be more mindful, more present in our own lives.
Yeah.
And to see the opportunities for dua in every moment. It's inspiring. It makes you want to pause and really appreciate the blessings around you and to seek Allah's guidance and protection in navigating the challenges.
Right.
And speaking of protection, the text also highlights supplications specifically for seeking refuge and guidance.
Absolutely. And these are incredibly powerful because they acknowledge our vulnerability and our need to constantly seek Allah's help. Hadith 3523 provides a general supplication for protection from the evil of creation,
Right.
reminding us that we're constantly surrounded by potential harm, both seen and unseen.
It's like acknowledging that while we should strive to do our best, ultimately our safety and well-being are in Allah's hands.
Yeah.
And then there's Hadith 30437, the supplication to say, when stopping at a place, no matter where you are.
It reinforces the idea that we're always in need of Allah's protection, whether we're at home traveling or simply pausing in our journey.
Right.
It's about recognizing our dependence on him and seeking his refuge in all circumstances.
Right.
And I love how the text offers these practical tools for dealing with even the most challenging emotions.
Yes.
Like Hadith 3452, the supplication to say when you're angry.
Yes.
It's like a spiritual anchor, something to ground you in moments of intense emotion.
It's a reminder that even our negative emotions can be transformed into opportunities for spiritual growth, for turning towards Allah and seeking his help and overcoming our weaknesses.
Right.
But it's important to remember that the text doesn't advocate for blind reliance on fate.
Right.
Right.
We have to play our part.
Yes.
Hadith 335 cautions against solely depending on predestination and encourages actively doing good deeds.
It's about striking a balance.
Right.
Recognizing Allah's decree while understanding that we have a role to play in shaping our lives. These supplications are a reminder that we need Allah's help in navigating our choices wisely and in staying on the straight path.
It's like that famous saying, trust in Allah, but tie your camel. You take the necessary precautions, but you also acknowledge that ultimately it's Allah who guides your steps.
Yes.
And speaking of trusting in Allah, let's talk about those beautiful supplications for forgiveness and well-being.
These really get to the heart of our relationship with the divine.
Yeah.
In Hadith 35531, the Prophet teaches Abu Bakr a supplication specifically for seeking forgiveness.
Okay.
It acknowledges our human fallibility and our constant need for Allah's mercy.
It's a powerful recognition that we all make mistakes.
Yes.
And that returning to Allah with a sincere heart is the path to purification and renewal.
And this resonates so deeply with Hadith 35543, where the Prophet highlights that Allah's mercy prevails over his wrath.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful reminder that no matter what we've done, Allah's forgiveness is always within reach if we seek it with sincerity.
This ties in with Hadith 3548, which emphasizes seeking afiyah, which can be understood as well-being, encompassing both physical and spiritual health.
Yes, afiyah goes beyond just physical health.
Right.
It's about seeking wholeness, a state of well-being in this life and the next.
Right.
It's a reminder that our supplications should not just be about material needs, but about striving for a holistic sense of well-being.
It's about recognizing that true peace and contentment come from aligning ourselves with Allah's will and seeking His guidance in all aspects of our lives. And this brings us back to the importance of remembering Allah, a theme that seems to run throughout the entire text.
It's not presented as a mere duty,
Right.
but as a source of immense blessings, something that elevates our spiritual state and brings us closer to the divine.
Hadith 3376 is incredibly powerful in that regard.
Yes.
It states that those who remember Allah are superior even to the fighter in the cause of Allah.
Wow.
Think about that someone engaged in such a noble act is surpassed by those who consistently remember Allah.
It really underscores the spiritual weight of remembrance and the transformative impact it has on our hearts.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hadith 3378 expands on this beautifully. It describes how remembering Allah brings blessings like angels encircling you, mercy covering you, and peace encompassing you.
It's a beautiful and incredibly evocative image.
It is.
It's like those moments of quiet reflection where you feel this sense of serenity, this profound connection with the divine. It's like finding an oasis of peace amidst the chaos of everyday life.
Exactly. And the text delves into specific forms of remembrance, like tasbih tamid and taqiz.
Can you break those down a bit? I think those terms might be unfamiliar to some listeners.
Of course.
Okay.
Tasbih is the act of glorifying Allah, declaring His purity and perfection.
Okay.
Tamid is praising Allah, acknowledging His attributes, and thanking Him for His blessing.
Okay.
And taqiz is the act of sanctifying Allah, recognizing His absolute holiness and transcendence.
And these are more than just words. They're expressions of our deepest connection to Allah, a way of acknowledging His presence in our lives.
Precisely. And the text specifically encourages reciting Subhanallah wa bihamdi, which means glory be to Allah and praise be to Him, 100 times, as mentioned in Hadith 3470.
Okay.
It's a simple phrase, but incredibly profound in its meaning.
It's like a spiritual multiplier, increasing the impact of our remembrance manifold.
Yes, and Hadith 3486 tells us that whoever says Subhanallah wa bihamdi 100 times a day, their sins are forgiven even if they are like the foam of the sea.
Wow.
It's a beautiful reminder of Allah's boundless mercy and the transformative power of dhikr.
It's incredible how something so simple can have such a profound impact on our spiritual state.
Yes.
And the text doesn't stop at personal supplications.
Right.
It also delves into the supplications of the prophets and companions, giving us these glimpses into their spiritual practices and the lessons we can glean from them.
These are incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
Hadith 3454 mentions the supplication of Ibrahim for Makkah
Okay.
and the Prophet's own supplication for Medina. They showcase this deep love for these sacred places, recognizing their spiritual significance.
And then there's Hadith 3563, where the Prophet teaches a specific supplication for relieving debt,
Right.
demonstrating his compassion for those struggling with financial burdens.
Yes.
It's a reminder that dua can be applied to all aspects of our lives, from the spiritual to the material.
Absolutely. It's not just about seeking otherworldly rewards, but about seeking Allah's help in navigating the challenges of this world.
Right.
And the examples of the prophets and companions offer us models for how to incorporate dua into our own lives.
It's like having a spiritual roadmap
Yep.
guiding us towards a deeper connection with Allah.
Exactly.
And what makes this even more powerful is how the text weaves in these incredible stories and historical contexts
Yes.
that bring these supplications to life.
The stories ground the supplications in real-life situations
Right.
and help us understand their power and purpose.
Like Hadith 331, the story of Ibn Maktum,
Yes.
a blind companion, and how his interaction with the Prophet led to the revelation of Surah Abasa.
It's a powerful reminder to be mindful of the feelings of others, especially those who are vulnerable, and to treat everyone with kindness and respect.
And Hadith 3302 explains the context to Surah Al-Hashr.
Okay.
Regarding the cutting down of date palms during a battle,
Right.
it offers insights into the complexities of wartime decisions and the need to seek Allah's guidance in all circumstances.
These historical events are interwoven with spiritual teachings,
Yeah.
reminding us that supplication isn't just a private act, but something that has implications for our interactions with the world around us.
It's about aligning our inner world with our outer world, striving for consistency in our thoughts, words, and deeds.
Right.
And speaking of inspiring examples, a significant portion of the text is dedicated to the Prophet's companions and their virtues, highlighting their character and their bond with him.
It's heartwarming. You really get a sense of the love and respect they had for the Prophet and for one another. Hadith 3896 talks about the Prophet's deep love for his companions and his reluctance to hear anything negative about them.
Right.
It speaks volumes about the strength of their brotherhood and the importance of maintaining unity within the community.
And then you have Hadith 3939 with the story of the Bedouin who cursed the tribe of Himyar,
Right.
and the Prophet's response, which was to praise them.
Yeah.
It's a testament to his merciful nature and his ability to see the good in people, even in the face of negativity.
It's a powerful lesson in forgiveness and understanding. And the text goes beyond collective mentions of the companions,
Yep.
highlighting the virtues of specific individuals.
Okay.
We see Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman Ali, and many others, each embodying a particular aspect of Islamic excellence.
Like Hadith 3655, where the Prophet calls Abu Bakr Allah's Khalil, his close friend,
Right.
highlighting his unwavering faith and closeness to the Prophet.
Or Hadith 3691, which describes Umar's reputation for unwavering justice to the point that even Satan was said to fear him.
Wow.
It speaks to his commitment to truth and righteousness.
Then there's Uthman, known for his generosity and patience. Hadith 3705 portrays a man who embodied compassion and forbearance, even in the face of adversity.
And Ali, renowned for his knowledge and courage.
Hmm.
Hadith 3716 beautifully captures the special bond he shared with the Prophet,
Yeah.
who said, "You are from me and I am from you."
It's like a roll call of spiritual giants, each inspiring us with their unique strength and contributions to the early Muslim community.
It's a reminder that each of us has something valuable to offer,
Yeah.
and that by following in their footsteps, we too can strive for spiritual excellence.
It's incredible how much wisdom and guidance is packed into this one volume of Sunan al Tirmidhi.
Yeah.
We've just scratched the surface of what it offers on the topic of supplication.
There's so much more to unpack.
Right.
I haven't even touched upon some of the more nuanced aspects of supplication, like
Right.
its etiquette, the conditions that can hinder its acceptance, and the crucial role of sincerity and humility.
I'm so glad you brought that up. But before we dive into those nuances, maybe we should pause and let our listener reflect on what we've explored so far.
Okay.
What resonated with you the most in this initial exploration of dua?
Right.
What thoughts or questions does it spark for you?
We'll delve into those deeper layers of supplication in the next part of our deep dive.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, me too. As we delve deeper into the world of supplication, I think it's important to consider the etiquette involved.
Okay.
It's not just about the words we utter, but the manner in which we approach Allah.
It's like any meaningful conversation.
Yes.
There's a certain decorum, a way of showing respect and reverence that enhances the communication.
Exactly. And in the case of supplication,
Yeah.
that begins with purity, both
Okay.
physical and spiritual.
Okay.
The text emphasizes the importance of performing wudu, the ritual ablution, before engaging in dua.
Okay.
It's a way of cleansing ourselves both outwardly and inwardly, preparing our hearts and minds to connect with the divine.
It makes sense when you think about it. If you're going to meet someone important,
Right.
you want to present yourself in the best possible way.
Yeah.
And when we're turning to Allah, the most important being of all. That includes purifying ourselves both physically and spiritually.
Absolutely. It's about approaching Allah with a sense of reverence and respect.
Yeah.
And this purity extends beyond the physical act of wudu.
Okay.
It's also about purifying our intentions. We should approach Allah with sincerity, humility, and a genuine desire to connect with Him, not just to present a list of demands.
So it's not just about going through the motions or using fancy words.
Right.
It's about having the right mindset, approaching Allah with a heart that's free from distractions, ulterior motives, and negativity.
Precisely. It's about cultivating that inner state of purity and sincerity that allows our supplications to truly reach the divine.
And what about the actual wording of our dua? Are there specific guidelines for how we should phrase our requests?
The text emphasizes the importance of beginning our supplications with words of praise and glorification.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging Allah's greatness and majesty before presenting our needs and desires.
It's like saying please and thank you, in a way recognizing that we're in a position of humility before the Almighty.
Exactly. It's about approaching Allah with gratitude and acknowledging His countless blessings. And while we should be specific in our requests, it's also important to avoid being too demanding or trying to dictate the outcome.
So it's about trusting in Allah's wisdom and knowledge,
Yes.
knowing that He knows what's best for us even if we don't see it at the time.
Right.
It's about surrendering to His will, recognizing that His plan is ultimately for our own good, even if it doesn't always align with our immediate desires.
You've captured it perfectly.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that our limited human understanding
Yeah.
can't grasp the complexities of Allah's plan.
Right.
We need to trust that He sees the bigger picture and that His decrees are always for our ultimate benefit.
This idea of surrendering to Allah's will is so powerful, yet it can be so difficult to put into practice, especially when we're going through challenging times.
It's true. Our human nature wants to control everything, to have all the answers.
Yeah.
But true peace comes from letting go of that need for control and surrendering to the one who truly holds all the power.
It's a beautiful and profound concept, and it makes me think about the timing of our supplications.
Okay.
Does it matter when we make dua?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
And the text does highlight certain times that are considered especially auspicious for supplication.
Oh, like when?
But for example, the last third of the night is considered a time when Allah descends to the lowest heaven and asks, "Is there anyone asking for forgiveness that I may forgive them?
Wow.
Is there anyone seeking sustenance that I may grant them sustenance?"
It's like those quiet hours before dawn create a special window of opportunity, a time when the veil between us and the divine feels thinner.
Exactly. And there are other times as well, like the period between the adhan, the call to prayer, and the iqama, the second call that signals the start of the prayer.
Okay.
Or during prostration in prayer, when we're in a state of complete humility before Allah.
It's fascinating how these specific times are often associated with moments of deep humility and closeness to Allah.
Yeah.
It's like our hearts are more receptive to the divine presence during these times.
That's beautifully put.
Thanks.
But it's important to remember that these special times aren't the only opportunities for supplication.
Right.
The text encourages us to make dua a regular part of our lives, not just reserving it for specific moments.
It's about cultivating that constant dialogue with Allah.
Yes.
Making supplication a habit, a way of life. It's about nurturing that connection with the divine, keeping the lines of communication open, whether we're seeking guidance, expressing gratitude, or simply seeking solace in Allah's presence.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It's about integrating dua into the fabric of our existence, making it as natural as breathing. And as we do that, it's important to cultivate the inner qualities that enhance the effectiveness of our supplications.
Okay.
And one of the most crucial of those qualities is sincerity.
Sincerity seemed to be a recurring theme in the context of supplication.
And rightly so, because without sincerity, our words are just empty pronouncements. They lack that heartfelt connection that truly moves the divine.
Right.
The text reminds us that Allah sees into our hearts. It's the purity of our intentions that matters most, not just the eloquence of our words or the elaborateness of our rituals.
So it's not about trying to impress Allah with outward displays of piety.
Right.
It's about stripping away all pretense and approaching Him with a heart that's genuine, humble, and truly seeking His guidance.
Exactly. It's about being authentic in our supplications, recognizing our own limitations, and acknowledging our complete dependence on Allah.
And that sincerity is reflected not just in our words, but also in our actions, right?
Absolutely. The text emphasizes the importance of aligning our outward behavior with our inward supplications. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Right.
Our actions should be a testament to the sincerity of our prayers.
So it's not enough to just ask Allah for forgiveness while continuing to engage in sinful behavior.
Exactly.
Our deeds should reflect the genuineness of our supplications.
Precisely, our lives should be a reflection of our prayers,
Mm-hmm.
a manifestation of our desire to align ourselves with Allah's will.
Right.
And that alignment requires constant effort and self-reflection.
It's a reminder that our spiritual lives are intertwined with our worldly actions.
Yeah.
We can't compartmentalize the two.
Mm-hmm.
Our behavior in the world should be a reflection of our aspirations toward the divine.
Beautifully said. It's about striving for consistency between our inner and outer selves, between our words and our deeds.
Yeah.
And alongside sincerity, the text also highlights the importance of humility in approaching Allah.
Humility seems like such a key ingredient in any meaningful spiritual practice. Why do you think that is?
Because it's in recognizing our own limitations,
Yeah.
our dependence on Allah, that we truly open ourselves to His grace and mercy.
Okay.
It's about letting go of our ego, acknowledging that we're not in control, and surrendering to a power greater than ourselves.
It's like that beautiful image of a servant standing before their master with a heart filled with respect and reverence.
Mm-hmm.
And the text reminds us that Allah loves those who are humble and contrite in their supplications.
Right.
It's not about demanding favors or dictating outcomes, but about humbly requesting His guidance and assistance.
You've captured the essence beautifully.
Thank you.
It's about approaching Allah with a sense of awe and wonder, recognizing our own insignificance in the face of His infinite greatness.
Yeah.
And that humility should permeate not just our supplications, but our entire approach to life.
It's a reminder that true strength comes from recognizing our own weaknesses and acknowledging our need for Allah's guidance and support.
And that recognition is at the heart of sincere supplication.
So we've talked about the importance of sincerity and humility in approaching Allah. But is there anything else we need to be mindful of to ensure our supplications are accepted? Are there any potential pitfalls to avoid? That's a really important question. We've been talking about all these beautiful qualities that can enhance our dua.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the other side of the coin. What are some of the things that might hinder the acceptance of our supplications?
Right.
Are there any red flags we should be aware of?
That's a crucial aspect to consider.
Yeah.
While we strive to do the right things, it's equally important to be aware of potential obstacles that could create a barrier between us and Allah.
So it's not just about adding good deeds and purifying our intentions.
Right.
It's also about removing those things that might be blocking the flow of Allah's blessings.
Exactly. And one of the biggest obstacles highlighted in the text is the consumption of haram or forbidden substances.
Okay.
The text explicitly states that the supplications of those who indulge in such things
Right.
are less likely to be accepted.
That makes perfect sense. It's like trying to approach a king while covered in filth.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect to be received with open arms.
Right.
Similarly, our spiritual state should be pure and clean when we're seeking to connect with the divine.
Precisely. Our inner purity is essential for our supplications to reach Allah.
Yeah.
And this concept of purity extends beyond just what we consume.
Okay.
The text also emphasizes the importance of earning our sustenance through halal or permissible means.
So it's not just about what we put into our bodies,
Right.
but also about how we acquire our wealth.
Yeah.
Our entire livelihood should be based on righteousness and ethical principles.
Exactly, because if our wealth is tainted by injustice or exploitation, it can cast a shadow over our supplications.
Okay.
Our connection with Allah should be built on a foundation of purity and righteousness,
Right.
both internally and externally.
It's a powerful reminder that our spiritual lives are intertwined with our worldly actions. We can't compartmentalize the two. Our behavior in the world should be a reflection of our aspirations towards the divine.
Beautifully said. It's about striving for that consistency between our inner and outer selves. Our actions should be a testament to the sincerity of our prayers and our desire to please Allah.
And another factor that can hinder our supplications is harboring ill intentions or negative thoughts toward others.
Right.
So it's not just about our actions, it's about the state of our hearts.
Right.
If we're filled with envy, resentment, or malice, it can create a barrier between us and Allah.
Precisely, supplication is about connecting with the source of pure love and mercy.
Yeah.
If our hearts are contaminated with negativity,
Right.
it disrupts that connection.
Okay.
The text encourages us to cultivate compassion, forgiveness, and goodwill towards others,
Yeah.
as these qualities enhance our own spiritual state and make us more receptive to Allah's grace.
It's a reminder that our spiritual well-being is interconnected with our relationships with others. If we want our supplications to be heard and answered, we need to purify our hearts and strive for a state of harmony and goodwill in our interactions with the world around us.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that our supplications aren't just a transactional exchange where we ask for things and hope to receive them.
Right.
It's about cultivating a deeper relationship with Allah, a relationship based on sincerity, humility, and a genuine desire to align our lives with His will.
Yeah.
And when we approach dua from that perspective,
Right.
we begin to understand that Allah's response might not always be a straightforward yes.
That's an interesting point. We often think of supplication as a way to get what we want. But what happens when the answer is no?
Right.
How do we reconcile that with the idea that Allah hears our prayers and responds to them?
It requires a shift in perspective.
Right.
We need to remember that Allah's wisdom is far greater than our own. He sees the bigger picture, the long-term consequences of our choices, and the intricate web of interconnectedness that shapes our lives.
Yeah.
What we might perceive as a no could actually be a form of protection, a way of steering us away from something harmful, guiding us toward a greater good that we can't yet see.
So it's about trusting that Allah knows what's best for us,
Yeah,
even when it doesn't align with our immediate desires.
exactly.
It's about surrendering to His plan, even when we don't fully understand it.
It's about having faith in His infinite wisdom and mercy, even when it's difficult.
And this applies not only to those times when the answer is no,
Right.
but also to those times when the answer seems to be wait.
That's something I think many of us struggle with.
Yeah.
We make dua with a sincere heart,
Uh-huh.
but we don't see the results we were hoping for.
Right.
How do we maintain our faith and patience when our prayers aren't answered immediately?
That's a tough one.
That's where the quality of perseverance comes in.
Okay.
The text emphasizes that supplication is an ongoing process,
Mm-hmm.
a continuous dialogue with Allah. We shouldn't become discouraged if our prayers aren't answered right away.
Yeah.
We should continue to turn to Allah with sincerity and humility, knowing that He hears us and will respond in His own time and in His own way.
So it's about recognizing that Allah's timing might not always align with our own.
Right.
We need to trust that He has a plan
Yeah.
and that He'll respond when the time is right.
Exactly.
It's about letting go of that need for instant gratification
Yes.
and embracing the journey of faith and patience.
Beautifully put. And this waiting period isn't necessarily a passive one.
Okay.
It can be a time of growth and purification. It might be a time for us to strengthen our faith, and refine our character, or learn valuable lessons that will prepare us for the blessings we're seeking. It's like a spiritual training ground where we're being tested and refined so that we're ready to receive Allah's bounty when the time is right.
I love that analogy. It shifts the focus from the outcome to the process, from the destination to the journey.
Exactly. And it highlights the importance of not just focusing on what we're asking for, but on who we're becoming through the process of supplication.
Right.
It's about deepening our relationship with Allah, strengthening our reliance on Him, and submitting to His will, even when it's difficult.
It's a beautiful reminder that supplication is a gift, a privilege, a way for us to connect with the source of all good, and to align our lives with His divine plan. It's not just about getting what we want, it's about becoming who we were meant to be.
You've summarized it beautifully, and as we've been exploring the different dimensions of dua, I think it's important to remember that it's not just an individual practice. There's a profound communal aspect to it as well, a recognition of our interconnectedness and our responsibility to pray for others.
That's right. It's not just about me and Allah. The text is filled with examples of the Prophet praying for his companions, for the Muslim community, and even for humanity at large.
Yes.
It emphasizes this beautiful concept of collective supplication, where we lift each other up in prayer and seek Allah's blessings for the entire ummah.
It's like weaving a spiritual safety net where we support each other through prayer and recognize that our well-being is intertwined.
And this collective supplication isn't limited to just Muslims.
Right.
The prophets do often extend it to all of humanity, seeking guidance and mercy for everyone, regardless of their faith or background.
That's a beautiful testament to the universality of his message and the boundless compassion that he embodied.
It's a reminder that our hearts should be expansive, encompassing all of creation. We should seek Allah's blessings for everyone and recognize our shared humanity.
Absolutely. We're all part of one human family, interconnected, and in need of Allah's mercy and guidance.
And this act of praying for others isn't just a nice gesture.
Right.
It actually brings immense blessings to ourselves.
Yes, the text mentions that those who pray for their brothers and sisters in their absence will have angels praying for them in return.
It's like a spiritual ripple effect, where our good deeds and prayers create a positive chain reaction that extends far beyond ourselves.
Exactly, and it highlights the power of our intentions.
Yeah.
When we sincerely pray for the well-being of others, it creates a powerful spiritual force that benefits not just them, but ourselves as well.
It's like a reminder that generosity of spirit, both in our actions and in our prayers, brings its own rewards. And it's not limited to praying for their general well-being.
Right.
We can also be specific in our supplications for those facing challenges or going through difficult times.
Yeah, it's like offering them a spiritual lifeline, a source of support and comfort in their time of need.
Precisely. And even if we don't know the specifics of their situation, we can still pray for them in a general sense.
Yeah.
Asking Allah to grant them ease, guidance, and whatever they need most.
It's about cultivating a heart of compassion, being aware of the struggles of those around us, and extending our prayers to encompass their needs.
And this idea of praying for others is especially poignant when it comes to those who have passed away.
Yes.
The text emphasizes the importance of making dua for our deceased loved ones, asking Allah to grant them mercy and forgiveness.
It's a beautiful way to honor their memory and to continue to nurture that bond even after they're gone.
It's a reminder that our connection with them doesn't end with their physical death.
Yeah.
We can continue to support them through our prayers and seek Allah's mercy for their souls.
And these prayers aren't just empty rituals. They offer comfort and solace to those who are grieving.
Right.
It can actually benefit the souls of the deceased.
Really?
The text suggests that Allah's mercy is so vast that even the prayers of the living can reach and benefit those who have departed this world.
That's a beautiful and comforting thought. It offers a glimmer of hope and solace in the face of loss, and reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things, even across the veil of death.
It's a testament to the power of prayer and the enduring nature of our relationships.
Wow, this has been such a profound exploration of supplication. We've covered so much ground, from the personal to the communal, from the etiquette of dua to the factors that can enhance or hinder its acceptance and the impact it can have on our lives and the lives of others.
It's been an amazing journey.
As we wrap up this deep dive, what are your final thoughts? What stands out to you the most?
What truly resonates with me is the transformative power of dua.
Yeah.
It's not just about presenting a wish list to Allah.
Right.
It's about cultivating a state of awareness, gratitude, and connection with the divine. It's about aligning our hearts and minds with His will and seeking His guidance in all aspects of our lives.
I couldn't agree more. It's about recognizing that supplication is a bridge between our limited human experience and the infinite realm of the divine.
It is.
And as we learn to cross that bridge with sincerity, humility, and perseverance, we open ourselves up to a world of blessings.
Yes.
Both in this life and the next.
Beautifully said. It's a journey that requires effort and dedication, but the rewards are immeasurable.
And as we conclude this episode, I'd like to leave our listener with something to ponder.
Okay.
As you reflect on all these beautiful concepts we've discussed, think about which supplications resonate most deeply with you and why. What areas of your life do you feel most in need of Allah's guidance and support?
Right.
And as you incorporate these du'as into your daily routine, pay attention to the shifts that occur within you. Notice how your heart softens your mind, becomes clearer, and your connection with Allah deepens.
Yes.
The journey of supplication is a lifelong one, a continuous process of growth, refinement, and deepening connection with the divine.
Absolutely.
Embrace it with an open heart, a sincere intention, and a spirit of perseverance.
Yes.
The blessings that await you are beyond measure.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of supplication.
That's good, my pleasure.
May Allah grant us all the sincerity, humility, and perseverance to make dua a truly transformative force in our lives.
Until next time, may your supplications be filled with blessings and your hearts with peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.